From my perspective, what a gatekeeper is somebody who is holding on to information and keeping that information hidden, except for from a few special selected few people. All right. And I believe that this is a practice that has served us, a practice that is the path of least resistance. Now, back in the day, it was important to keep information like that secret because you could be killed for it, because it was, sacrilegious or counter to the belief systems or the power structures of the day. So places and things like mystery schools and secret societies were very important and needed in order to preserve the information coming from Atlantis and Lemuria or Mu. It was important to keep that information alive by keeping it a secret and keeping it sacred and using fear to do so in a way. But now times have changed. This is the information age. This is the new age of transparency in spirituality. The age of sovereign spirituality is rising. And so it is time to allow this information to come out to everyone and anyone who wants to receive it. And so when people are still practicing gatekeeping, it's not serving humanity anymore, because we need to be able to look at our deepest fears. We need to be able to look at our deepest power. We need to be able to look at our brightest light. We need to be able to see and process it all. And the universe will never give you more than what you can handle. Source will never give you more than you are capable of processing and handling. And so it's really, really important that as a spiritual teacher watching this, or taking a look at the spiritual teachers that you are involved with, that you are learning from, that they are maintaining this integrity of revealing the information to you and revealing their truth to you from a place of integrity. So there will be people, and there are people out there, they feel as though they're doing the right thing. They feel this attachment to the mission, and they feel there's a shadow as well, where they want to be very special. They want to have the breaking news spiritually, so to speak. They want to feel like they are doing a real difference, and it's almost like they feel as though they alone, or they and a few select people, are responsible for bringing the awakening and bringing light into certain areas. And so there's a lot of different ways that this can manifest, through people believing or being part of secret societies, or releasing information from secret societies, and feeling very special, feeling very chosen and gifted because of that. And I encountered one of these people. I'm not going to name the name, but I encountered one of these people recently. I've encountered many of them throughout my spiritual journey, I would say. So there's a couple of different ways this manifests. And one way would be that the spiritual teacher will create many barriers to the information that they have to share. So that could be spiritual barriers, but it really a lot of times has to do with money. Like they will create a business model that is set up in a hierarchy. They'll create a business model that is set up in levels, where you have to pay to get the first level of knowledge, which isn't really that much, which maybe provides a small transformation for you. But they put a lot of hoops that you have to jump through, and a lot of levels. There was a teacher that I encountered very early on my journey that structured their business this way, where you would have to pay to get just their basic stuff. You'd pay for that, and then you'd pay for the next level, and then you'd pay for the next level. And that in and of itself isn't necessarily wrong or out of integrity, but I believe that it's really important to share the information that you are giving in your paid course for free. And then what you are selling is the actual transformation, is helping that person walk through that transformation every single step in the order that you know that it needs to be done in, instead of just saying, remember who you are. I've got this special information. Learn how to heal yourself, but pay $500 for this level and $700 for this level and $1,200 for this level. And even at that level, you can't become a teacher yet because you have to have 500 hours of this experience. It creates a codependency with the information. It creates a codependency with the spiritual teacher. It's coming from a place of lack on the part of the spiritual teacher, and a fear that the student will move on to another teacher. It is definitely that. And so the teacher then creates and just gives tiny bits of information at each level of initiation, you could say, to keep the student hungry and to keep the student fed in to their teachings and their teachings alone, to a point where you feel that you need that teacher's teachings, that you need to pay all the money and ascend all the way through their different levels of their work in order to receive the full activation. First of all, you receive your own activations. You are activating yourself. Okay. They are not activating you. If they claim to be able to activate you, or, oh yeah, you have an activation coming, you need to come to me so that I can activate you. No. They facilitate that activation. They are not activating you. You are activating yourself, and they are simply guiding you through that activation. It's the same with a healer. No one can heal you. If you go to someone for a healing, they are just guiding you through that healing. You are healing yourself. That's a really important point to note. Hello, everyone. I can see all of you who are watching right now. Please say hi in the chat so that I can say hello to you. Make sure to like this broadcast and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you're not on my email list yet, I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast that I want to start doing these tarot readings live for you guys here on YouTube. And so I want to bring one person per week in to ask your question live. And so the only way that you'll be able to do that is if you are on my email list so that I can communicate with you through that. And so make sure to grab my tarot guide right there. That another way I've seen it manifest, and I saw this very recently and fell down a rabbit hole with it myself. I'm still getting tested. I'm still like making sure, and my soul, my higher self, my guides are making sure that I'm staying in integrity and that I'm using discernment when I'm encountering different spiritual teachers. So this will happen where they're either a channeler, which is very much a real thing. So they're channeling like a collective, tapping into a vein of a certain galactic race or a certain galactic frequency, like Sirius or Pleiadian or Orion. They will claim to be, and most likely are, at least at the beginning of their journey before the fame part comes, certain extraterrestrial beings, certain extraterrestrial races, hybrid races, things of that nature. Or they will have a connection with someone or be sought out or chosen by someone who is in some type of secret society that maybe has existed for a long time, that they are getting special information from. And so this will happen. And it, like I said, channeling is real. And these secret societies, I know they exist. I know that they are real. And yet it's very important. It's very imperative to really use your discernment and keep your wits about you when you are encountering this type of information and these types of people who are sharing these informations, these types of people who express, or you sort of get the inklings that they feel that they are chosen, that they're being chosen by someone, they're being chosen by something or someone special, by something secret and powerful, that because that specialness can very easily go to your head. And that specialness is very often coming from a place of ego. And how do I know this? Because I recognized it in myself. I've seen it in myself previously. So years ago, when I was diving deep into galactic consciousness and connecting deeply with some of my galactic guides and incarnations, I felt very special. I felt very chosen. I felt very I was honored that I was a conduit to these specific types of information. And it's important to note that, yes, you may have connections and you may be directly channeling, Syrian collectives or Syrian beings. And yet, when you start naming those energies and you start sharing that you are a channeler of this specific energy or this specific being or this specific group, this specific entity, when you start to name that and you start to use that connection to draw people in, that's when it starts to become out of integrity. Because in truth, it doesn't matter where the information comes from. That is the difference between religion and spirituality, is that religion is focused on the messenger and spirituality is focused on the message. So when we start to name the messenger, we start to lose, there's a disconnection that happens slightly from the message itself, and we start to focus and create this adoration towards the messenger beings that you're channeling, the energy that you're channeling, the group or secret society that you're getting the information from. You as the channeler, you as the conduit, you as the messenger start to become the focus more so than the actual message. So that's why it's really, really important that when you're channeling, you yourself can know, yes, I'm channeling the Violet Ray, I'm channeling Saint Germain, I'm channeling the Syrian Collective, I'm channeling this hybrid extraterrestrial race. I'm a messenger for this secret society. I'm a messenger for this ancient lineage. You can know that. But the minute that you start to share where or who that information is from is when it can start to turn out of integrity, because the focus starts to be on the messenger instead of the message. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about that. Let me know if that makes sense to you, if you're understanding what I mean, or if you have more questions about that. Because I encountered a person like this very recently in the last, several days, and they almost had me hooked. They almost had me hooked in to continue going down that rabbit hole. And even now, the desire, the draw of it is very powerful. And yet I know, okay, I don't need to watch any more of this person's videos. He's sharing information that resonates with me because it's things that I already feel to be my truth, that I already know to be true. So I need to disconnect from this person. I need to disconnect from this spiritual teacher, because the focus is starting to become on the messenger instead of the message. I'm going to be a little bit of a hypocrite right now, but just know that I'm acknowledging that. So I went to Egypt. In 2016 on spiritual retreat. I was there for 10 days and it was absolutely amazing. I had so many experiences that I will share, throughout these broadcasts and throughout the rest of my life. But there was one experience where I went into the Holy of Holies in a temple, and most of the statues have been removed, taken to private collections or to museums. But in this specific Holy of Holies in the temple, it's a room in a temple where usually only the high priest and high priestesses was a giant black granite statue of the goddess Sekhmet, the lion goddess, that was humanoid, walking on two legs, and with a lion head. And so this statue was there, and we did a powerful meditation, and I had an amazing vision while I was in that temple. And in the vision, I was given a message, a download that I am here to share. And the message and what she said to me there was several things she said, but the thing that she said that relates to this topic of spiritual integrity: you are chosen because you choose. You are chosen because you choose. So it's really important that when you're encountering spiritual teachers, that if you see that they are in any way, whether it's peripherally or directly, or through some of their words, through some of the things that they're writing in the book, or things that they allow that the people, well, they can't really control what people say about them. But if they refute or don't refute, if they feel that they have been chosen, If they feel that they are chosen ones, if they feel that they are specially selected for certain things, it's important to watch out for that, because that is coming from a place of ego. Because what Sekhmet said to me is that you are chosen because you choose. Anyone who chooses to step into their calling, anyone who chooses to own their status as a starseed, to own their status as a light worker, that is the reason why they are quote unquote chosen. They are chosen because they are choosing. You are chosen because you choose to share your message, because you choose to not blend in and stay quiet with the rest of the people who are choosing not to step forward. Okay, you're not being chosen is not about being special enough or not special enough, or worthy or not worthy. Make sure to like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you as part of this community. Grab my free 5-minute tarot guide. It will have you reading any tarot card from any tarot deck within 5 minutes with accuracy. Thank you so much for being here. I love you today and every day, and I will talk to you soon.